another episode of Sarah Harrison exclusive 12 Days of Litmus. And who better to join me and spend some good quality time than this company right here. Garren is in LA, making me jealous, having a nice sunny Christmas and that.
Yeah, I'm just walking down the street, getting a nice little morning walk while I talk to you. So I didn't mean to make you jealous, but hey, here it is.
So you've never spent Christmas in the cold?
Yes, I have actually. Oh, no, I haven't. Because even when I did live in New York, I still went home.
I didn't know you lived in New York.
Yeah, I lived in New York for a year.
Okay. For music?
Yeah, just to get away, kind of get a new kind of, look and feel of life and perspective. Just trying to expand my mind, expand my horizons. Wasn't really like a super huge purpose. Obviously, music was the driving force, but it wasn't like I had a motive like, hey, this guy wants me to come out there and work on the album, or he wants to sign me or want me to write for these artists. It was just like a courageous move I made to try to, expand my knowledge and experiences.
It's definitely a part of your character because I can tell that you're literally a mover and shaker and you go where the energy takes you, right?
Yeah, 1,000%. I'm very obedient to that aspect.
South Central LA is the hometown. Would you say it's the real California?
It's the real Los Angeles, but you got Oakland, which is a part of the real California. You got Sacramento, you got San Diego. You got a lot of different places that really make California what it is. But as far as Los Angeles, South Central is definitely the real Los Angeles. Inglewood, Compton kind of made its own commercial success. So did Inglewood. So did a lot of surrounding cities. But you got cities like Carson, Long Beach, just West LA, like places that are not necessarily highlighted as much, but they're all a part of LA culture, specific LA culture.
And you represent LA culture and your music so heavily. But you also transcend into different markets around the world. Like, what's been the furthest that you've seen people reacting to your music?
Well, I guess UK is further than Sweden, right?
No, it's not. From the Sweden is a little bit further from the US. It depends which side you're going.
I got a nice fan base in Sweden. I got family in Sweden that I've been knowing for like 10 years now. Been developing this artist named Issa. She's pretty big over there in Sweden. I've been developing her since like 2013. She was in this festival. She got really far in this festival called Melodifestivalen or something like that.
Okay.
It's kind of like the American Idol of Sweden, I believe.
Dope.
She got really far, and that got her a lot of attention and obviously like followers and traction and traffic. And then, that was when she was about 13 or something. I met her when she was about 14. Now she's like 21, 22. So
Wow.
I've been developing her. I've been going out there every year, twice a year. They come out here like every year, twice a year, outside of the coronavirus, of course. And we just been like building solid relationships. I'm really good with labels out there. I've got cool little fan base out there. So it's been cool. I did festivals out there before. So I would say Sweden, as far as very, very attached to it.
That's amazing, Garren, because
Hollywood Boulevard now.
I was about to get noisy.
I live in the heart of Hollywood, my bad.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Kind of crazy over here.
I know, yeah, it does get crazy and wild. I'm not. Oh, look!
Look, there go Nat King Cole.
I love it. I feel like I'm on the move with you while I'm sat on the couch.
I know you right here with me. You walking right down Hollywood with me.
That's so fire, man. I wish I could have. Wow, it looks empty.
No, it's super empty, but this is my morning walks for the last 3 years.
So, Garren, I know we've talked, off record and stuff, but we want people to know about you. So far, you were already twice Grammy nominated. This is outside of your personal ventures as a solo artist. You've contributed to projects and songs that have been given the Grammy nod. We're talking about Nipsey Hussle's dedication from Victory Lap, and you've also contributed to Dreamville's Revenge of the Dreamers 3. Can you tell me how Garren ended up in these rooms? I know you're super well respected, not only in LA, but in just the music game in general. Like, your pen is amazing, your voice is amazing. How did you get to be in these rooms, Garren?
First of all, a lot of it was relationships built well before I realized they led to, the access to those rooms. Like my big bro Robin Hood and my big bros 1500 or nothing.
Amazing.
That's like my family. So my big cousin Brody Brown, he's a part of 1500 or nothing. When I was like 11, 10, he was 15 playing for Bobby Valentino, playing for Chris Brown, playing for Omarion, just doing certain things where most teenagers is not doing that, you know what I'm saying? And to see that, build these relationships, I'm talking about church and just growing up together, not, hey man, we really dope, we should link. It was nothing like that. It was like we were already born into this, right? I was born into these relationships. And basically, it just so happens that everybody that I know around me was super talented, is super talented. My auntie helped us. My auntie Krista helped teach us in church how to play the instruments and how to be led by the Spirit and like use your gift to help other people and heal other people through your gift, like playing music. And all these different people happen to just be musicians for the biggest people that we love, know, grow to, that changed our lives. Lupe Fiasco's, Nas, Rick Ross, all these different dudes were in those guys' back pockets because they were their musicians and their producers, which was not really common at that time. And simply getting a Nipsey was like more of a family thing. It wasn't like a force or a relationship like, oh my gosh, I had to know this dude to know this. It was kind of like, it kind of just happened for me, you know what I'm saying? Then also with J.Cole, it was more of a cause thing, just cause directly rocking with me, but it was this dude named Louis G who I met through 1500 or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And when I met Louis G, he introduced me to my homeboy Mees, which was the camp he was working with at that time. And then Mees and Kaz was super cool. And then I ended up linking with Kaz at his crib, doing a song with him that we thought was gonna go on the album. Didn't go on the album, pulled up on him. Kaz ended up introducing me to Schoolboy Q that same night. And I ended up doing a little verse in like 30 minutes because Kaz was stuck. That song ended up being a single for his album. You know what I'm saying? That was just me pulling up on Kaz to show him love after me thinking that I was really on the album, but I really wasn't. And that song we recorded that night ended up being a single. I then went on tour. Kaz then announced he was going on tour a few months later. I asked him, can I go on tour with him? I done met J.Cole, talked to everybody on tour. It was love. I talked to Eve, which is the president of Dreamville. It was all love. By the time I got off, when I was invited to the camp, not by Eve, not by Cole, just because I had that relationship with Kaz. I was one of Kaz's little homies and I don't mean little homie like I'm his little bro. I'm saying little homie as like, if you were president of Dreamville or if you J. Cole, you like, oh, that's Kaz boy that he had on the album. Like, you're not looking at me as Garren. That's Garren. That's the nigga Garren. Like, you like, oh, that's Kaz boy.
Right.
From there, I was just ducking and dodging everything, sticking and moving. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of getting in any room I could fit in based on how I was seeing Buddy, Guapdad, all these different dudes move. Then one day, BJ, while we recording, BJ Chicago kid, like, yo, come in this room real quick. It was the smallest room in the whole studio. It was just me, BJ Chicago kid, and J. Cole. And then we chopped it up a little bit. And then right after I chopped it up with him, I went into this other room where Shmino, Jid, Buddy, Guapdad, me, and this other producer named Mez, I believe. We was all in a room, and I did them oohs, Smino, Guap Dad, Buddy, all them dudes just popped out. And I told the engineer, like, yo, let me go in there and record real quick. Like, and then I just recorded some oohs. And them oohs stuck. Cole came in right after I did the oohs, like, who that singing? I raised my hand, like, that's me, Cole. And then right after that, he was like, yo, put this to the side too. He told Eve, like, put this to the side. Boom, the rest was history. I actually made the album. So my Grammy nominations are not just like, yo, walk in this room, we got this big situation. It was like my homeboy at the studio in Inglewood, built a solid relationship with him. 2 years later, he ended up working with Kaz's right-hand producer, Mees, getting real close with him. He ended up bringing me to Kaz's house one random day that they just chilling. Kaz rock with me. He like, dang, you dope. I ended up recording something. Kaz ended up growing to like me as a person. Invite me to the Interscope Studios. Ended up introducing me to Schoolboy Q. It's just, my whole point is, it's never gonna come the way you expect it, and it's never gonna look the way you thought it would. It's like it comes in so many different shapes and forms. I'm 2-time Grammy nominated, and I still can't believe it. When we talk about it, I still be like, dang, like, I tell the story a different way every time. You know why? Because I remember different little details every single time I tell the story. Like, dang, that's, like,
I know what you
it's really
mean.
because 1500 that I even got with J.Cole, if you really think about it. After you rewind this clip and somebody go back and replay this clip, it all start with 1500. But then where does
Yeah.
1500 all start with? Church. So we really bring it all back to God and his doing that's beyond our imagination and beyond our understanding to bring things together to still get you what you asked for, but in a journey that he wants you to take, so you can like bring it all back to him. So I mean, I honestly give it to God, but if we just talk in a natural realm, if you replay that story, it'll kind of make a little sense.
Yeah, it's true. It's like God is the real dot connector, right?
Yeah, it's so funny because you gotta really be mindful of how it works.
I agree. I agree. Otherwise, you'll be stuck. Like
Yeah, or you be
calculate.
lost, or you don't know your purpose, or a
Exactly.
lot of things that come with it.
Oh my God.
Not
The
knowing
light.
why you are where you are and what you're asking for.
But personally, you've dropped some amazing music, and I definitely don't want to just swing past that because in 2018 you dropped Normal, and then fast forward to 2020 you dropped the new normal, which by the way you coined in February before the new normal became a term associated with the pandemic.
Right? Do you know what I mean? Like it's it's funny that I'm already like there. You get what I'm saying? That that should let people know that I'm already there.
It's true.
And it's like it's not even a conscious thing. You get what I'm saying? Cause look, my next album, which I ain't announced yet, I just got done shooting a video for a 2-day shoot yesterday, the single for the single.
What,
Produced
Jimmy
by Brody
James?
Brown. Jimmy James is just something I'm just putting out there just to keep people intrigued. But I got this single called Hot Tub Time Machine. I'm giving you all the juice. I ain't announced none of this yet, but it's cool because it's like, what am I hiding? You know what I mean? But I have this single
Word.
called Hot Tub Time Machine. And I shot the video. It was a 2-day video shoot. I shot the last day yesterday. And my album, surprisingly, is called This What You Want with a question mark. So it's just funny that it goes from normal to the new normal to this what you want. You get me?
Right.
And this is just how I've been already in playing. And you want to know what's crazy? My next album is called Back to Normal. I'm that far ahead. Like I'm usually 2 albums ahead of my time. So a lot of times when I'm talking and I'm talking about normal or the old normal or dedication or J.Cole, it's like, that's so crazy. Cause I done probably made 1,000 songs since J.Cole, since I recorded that J.Cole thing, like literally. Like I'm not even exaggerating. I probably done made about 1,000 songs since that day. So because of that, I'm always ahead of the game. So I'm telling you now that my album that's gonna come out end of 2021 or the beginning of 2022 is called Back to Normal. So don't be surprised if the world finally gets back to normal around 2022.
Please speak it into existence for us on behalf
And
of
I'm not even
humanity.
talking about the world. You know, my album has nothing to do with the world. That's what's crazy. My albums are directly about women and relationships and about um, the way I see this industry and the way I
Mm.
see things happen in this industry in acceptance and just justifying that goes on throughout this industry that I don't really appreciate. And sometimes I'm a victim, sometimes I'm a suspect. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm the one doing what I don't like.
Mm.
So it goes both ways. But my album has nothing to do with the world and the way the world is going right now. I actually wish the world was back to normal because I probably would be in UK with you right now in person having this interview.
Word. Yeah. Well, yeah, we know it's got nothing to do with the world. We know it's got a lot to do with women because you seem to know your way around the broken woman. Like, how do you have this such a high perspective of what a woman goes through mentally? Like, how are you able to grasp that so well?
Well, a lot of that perspective for me comes from I got 5 sisters. Mm. 4 of them older than me. I was raised by my mom. My dad was kind of in and out of jail, mostly in. Um, so I kind of had to take a certain type of approach when it comes to women. And I have a certain soft spot in my heart for women. I think I'm also a victim to some of the things that come with my pride. So a lot of times when I talk about things, it could have been the way I want to be, could have been something that I am already, or it could be something that I'm chasing. So it's not necessarily saying I'm better than all the men out here and I'm trying to teach y'all how to love on women and let me show y'all what they want. No, I'm saying I kind of am aware that they want this. And I can't be the guy who gets on here and still speak against that and still speak the false and pretend, you know what I'm saying? Like, so my whole thing is presenting something that should be, standard,
Mm.
which is equal to normal. You know what I'm saying? This should be normal. It should be normal that we give the woman respect. It should be normal that we, you know what I'm saying? Even though we fall victim to it, even though we are guilty of doing certain things that I speak against, I'm guilty myself. I'm not perfect. But I still don't want to use my platform to speak negatively or down, the character of a woman.
So do you find yourself in conversations with artists just off mic, like not in a collaborative environment or setting? How often do these conversations come up and you're always the one to kind of, I don't know, have the different perspective or say your piece in a loud voice? Yeah, how do you feel?
Honestly, I kind of keep it to myself right now because it's not me and artists. We talk about a lot of different things that had nothing to do with collaborating or music in that regard. But a lot of times it's kind of hard to have that type of conversation with artists because they're not even in their right mind in most cases. And when they are, and I can't have that conversation, I don't want to be sunning nobody or making nobody feel like I'm better than them. So I'll kind of pick and choose when I do certain things to have those type of conversations. But it comes about. I think it's more so when the artists realize that I do music or that I actually sing and I'm not just like the rapper guy, you know what I'm saying? Or the guy who's trying to be talking about the same thing over and over and over. They do respect me. Like my homeboy, Derez Deshawn from Atlanta, he hit me up like, yo, bro, you speaking that real. I love how you're not afraid to be you. That's
Yeah.
when the conversation starts, More so when they realize that like, dang, I talked to you about probably fishing or something crazy, weird, random, or just how we got out the hood and we ain't trying to never go back. I actually go check out your music and you talking about how we need to, this girl want to settle down and you want to be her man. Like, that's real. Like that's real, bro. You, in every aspect, you real. You telling me you don't gangbang. You got a song telling me you don't want to gangbang. You don't want to be like your daddy. You don't want to be like the streets. Then you got a song saying that this girl want to settle down. You want to be the man for her. Like, then you got a song where you talking about I ain't even trying to smash. I just want your energy. Like, you a real dude. Like, not a real nigga. Not the street credit. Not that you the toughest guy in the world in the mirror. It's not that. They can see like you're genuinely a real person. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's when the conversation opens up. And that's what I'm saying. Normal is just not a conversation about women only. It's just I use women as a foundation because that was my foundation. You get me? So I only know that side of the story when it comes to how I was experiencing my sisters, my mom, women in general, how I was looking at women, going from going to school, seeing this type of behavior, going home, having to treat women a whole different way, being peer pressure to, you know what I'm saying? It's all type of different struggles and corners that I had to like watch out for. Yeah, I shouldn't be on that corner of disrespect. You know what I'm saying? And no morals. I might want to be on this corner of respect, validation, encouragement. I'd rather just be on the real corner. I don't want to be over here where everybody kind of like masking everything they really feel and they really know just so they could go be on real quick, make a few $1,000,000. That's why I'm taking the long way and not the wrong way because I'd rather wait my turn, let the money come whenever it may, and just speak the real until. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, it's like it's not just about your voice and the words as well. Like people actually resonate. Like we're humans, we resonate to frequency and energy. So if like an artist is putting out is vibrating on an energy that's not real, I personally don't want to listen to it and there's no replay value to it. Whereas, like, because I feel like we live in a society now where music, well, especially if you're a music fan, you're only listening to music because it's dropped, not because, oh, I'm in this mood today and this is going to vibe with my mood. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas your music is that, like, you actually, yeah, you're attached to a mood that people want to be a part of, if that makes sense. Like, it's not just another box ticking record, if that makes sense.
Exactly,
Yeah.
100%. Definitely. That's why I'm always tapped in and tuned in into my, you know,
Higher self.
yeah, like third eye, whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
Third eye, right. No, for
Everybody
sure.
got different Buddha, God, Mary, man. I wouldn't know the difference. I think that once you just tap into the fact that you are not in control and this is not your world and you're just living in it, I think that's when you tapped into whoever you want to call it. Higher power, energy, source, God, Jesus, Mary, Buddha, the Quran, whichever book you read. I don't think it matters. I think it's about you being aware, being having enough humility to respect the higher power, literally.
Yeah, I agree. So when you did put out the new normal, what was the intention behind that title?
Reiterating, which also means putting emphasis on the fact that what I'm doing is not what's considered to be normal. And I'm trying to create it to be the normal. And because, and just in case y'all didn't understand what normal means, I'm gonna let y'all know that this is the new normal too. So
I
even
like
if
it.
you overlook normal, this is still the new normal. This is still fresh. It's only gonna continue. Is this what you want? Back to normal. Whatever, however I'm gonna keep going, everything gonna have, my company is called the Normal Company. So everything we do is gonna be normal.
It's
It's not with
interesting.
the
Yeah.
it's not
Go on.
with the it's not with the intentions of looking like what you used to. If that makes sense. Even though this is what you should be used to.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, a lot of the time, for instance, you touch on women's body positivity, right? Which, I mean, the new normal now is women aspiring to change their body, and this is actually a topic that's quite close to my heart because
Mhm.
um, I do feel like I struggle with social media. The reason I struggle, not because it directly affects me, but I see how it affects women around me, and like I'm an empath, so I feel that struggle. Why was this topic so important to you? Like, has it been a topic of conversation a lot with women?
Uh, no, I just kind of feel like you. I just feel like I had the pressure of expressing on and expanding on that struggle that other women have around me. Um, Excuse me.
Yeah.
I see women around the world close to me, directly related to me. They struggle with feeling accepted. So I have this song I made called "Wake Up" on the new normal. Yeah, it's on the new normal. It just basically talks about not being pressured and feeling down about yourself and finding a light within your own natural body, your own mind, your own soul, your own spirit to accept yourself. You ain't got to sit here and be too caught up in this natural flesh eating world. You know what I'm saying? Like wake up and smell the coffee. You know, that's my
It's
quote.
a
You just seen me create my quote. Normal, wake up and smell the coffee. But for real, like we gotta wake up and realize that this is a fad. It's a passing time. Meaning, there's gonna be a time that it gets back to the fact that we don't want to see big fake booties and big fake breasts. Period. We're going on for a few years.
yeah.
I mean, not even a few. It's been the forefront for a few years, but it's been going on for a long time. But it's been the forefront for a very, very mighty long time. But I'm telling you, when it get out the way, it's gonna get out the way.
For sure.
And then everybody else is gonna be trying to get reductions, and then they're not gonna look the same. And then you
Word.
really gonna be caught up in between, like, dang, not what I wanted. And
It's crazy.
is it still good enough? No. And then we're gonna have the reverse psychology, and then it's just a cycle, and we gotta just be prepared for it. Just
I
like there's gonna be a backfire on this coronavirus. I mean, we don't know when we're gonna see it. It might be next year, it might be 5 years, it might be 10 years, but there's gonna be a backfire on the fact that we went through this coronavirus. So for sure.
exactly. And it's not an immediate thing either.
Yeah,
It's a
it's more of
very
it's an over time thing. Whether
yeah.
that means all the grandmas, if that means that everybody who's 29, 26, 27, 35 and under, basically with the fake bodies, in 20 years when we all 55, 59, 60, we dying way earlier than we should be as women, as a culture. Maybe
Mm.
women start, I'm not putting this out there. I'm not manifesting this. I'm just such a realist that I have to go with the possibilities of of what consequences mean. Maybe when we become grandparents, we might not be able to live as long as our grandparents lived because, and I'm talking about women in the culture of women. Maybe our grandmas might not be living as long in the next 20 years. Not our grandmas, but our children's grandmas and our children's children, basically, won't
Mm.
be able to see their grandmothers live to 70 because 80% of women who did this and that might have complications when they're 60 because their body can't take the fact that 30 years ago you had some plastic put in you and now that
Mm.
plastic is rotten. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know what you're really putting yourself into when you do that type of thing.
No, not at all. And the same as you said with this corona, like, um, I fear for the next like 5 years because it's a ripple effect, right? Like it's both economically and psychologically. I feel like, you know, the children especially that grew up that had to face this have had to distance themselves from other humans. You know, like practicing social distancing is something that's against our nature in a way. So I think they're gonna, especially younger kids, you know, like I feel like they're gonna develop slightly differently.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
like with like personal and physical interactions, I think they're going to be very, very different in a couple of years' time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But Garrett, so we could talk about this all night long, all day long, and I love that you've been walking and, you know, getting your daily, I don't know what you want to call it.
Yeah, just really just getting my it's called therapy. This is almost like therapy.
Word. This is therapy for sure. It's been therapy to me, just listening and just, you know, soaking it up. Like, yeah, it's very important to take care of your mental in times like this, and I do feel like walking is a very good activity to do.
Exactly. Appreciate you for having me.
I appreciate you, Garren. Thank you for spending the holiday week with me here, and I can't wait to come back. And you know, this new music is out soon, so
Yeah, it's
I'm here
coming soon,
ready.
so thank you so much. Appreciate you.